What if everything you've been taught about reality is a lie? The world isn't fixed. It bends to those who understand the hidden principles of influence, perception, and energy. The top 1% don't play by the same rules as everyone else because they know reality isn't something you live in. It's something you create. While most people struggle, waiting for circumstances to change, the elite mold the world to their advantage. And the best part, this isn't just for them. Right now, you're either shaping your reality or being shaped by it. Your thoughts, beliefs, and actions are actively constructing the world around you, whether you realize it or not. But here's where it gets interesting. When you learn to control these forces, life stops happening to you and starts happening for you. This is the knowledge the ultra-successful keep to themselves. The ability to collapse time, shift perception, and manifest outcomes that seem impossible to the average person. You don't need luck. You don't need connections. What you need is the right understanding of how reality works. In this breakdown, you'll uncover the secrets that separate the elite from the masses, the same knowledge that has allowed the world's most powerful individuals to turn their wildest visions into reality. And once you grasp this, you'll never see the world the same way again. Reality is malleable. Most people walk through life thinking reality is set in stone, like some unchangeable script they're forced to follow. But the truth is, reality bends to the hands of those who know how to shape it. The top 1% don't just accept the world as it is, they mold it to fit their vision. Ever noticed how the wealthiest, most powerful individuals seem to operate in a different universe? That's because they do. They understand that reality isn't fixed. It's a canvas waiting to be rewritten. Think about it. Two people can look at the same situation and see entirely different things. One sees failure, the other sees opportunity. One sees rejection, the other sees redirection. The difference, perception. Your mind isn't just a receiver, it's a sculptor, chiseling away at reality based on your beliefs and focus. The elite don't wait for proof, they create it. A struggling entrepreneur who truly believes success is inevitable will make decisions differently than someone who hopes things work out. Take Elon Musk, for example. When he set out to revolutionize space travel, most people thought he was delusional, but he didn't let their fixed perception of reality dictate his. He saw a future where reusable rockets were normal, and he worked backward from that vision. Now, SpaceX lands rockets like it's a video game. The world didn't change for him, he changed the world, and that's the key. But to truly master this skill, you have to understand what's shaping your reality in the first place. Perception is key. Most people assume reality is an objective, unchanging force, but that's the biggest illusion of all. What you see, feel, and experience isn't just happening to you. It's filtered through your mind, shaped by your beliefs and emotions. The same event can be a disaster for one person and a breakthrough for another. The top 1% understand this at a core level, which is why they constantly reframe situations in their favor. They don't just react to reality, they manipulate their perception to gain control. Imagine two individuals facing a job loss. One spirals into self-doubt, believing they're doomed to failure. The other sees it as the push they needed to start their own business. Same event, different interpretations, completely different outcomes. The only difference is how they process the experience. Your perception dictates your next move. When you learn to shift perspectives, you unlock a hidden power, one that lets you see solutions where others see dead ends. Take the story of Oprah Winfrey. She was fired from her first TV job and told she wasn't fit for television. Most people would have let that define them, but she rewrote the narrative. Instead of believing she had failed, she saw it as a sign that she was meant for something bigger. That mental shift changed everything. If perception is the foundation of reality, what happens when you start controlling your thoughts? Thoughts create reality. Your mind isn't just a passive receiver of information, it's a projector shaping the world around you. Whatever you consistently think about, you invite into your reality. The elite understand that their dominant thoughts influence their external circumstances, whether it's wealth, success, or failure. If you obsess over scarcity, you'll find proof of it everywhere. If you focus on opportunities, they suddenly appear. The mind acts like a magnet, pulling in whatever aligns with its frequency. Look at athletes who visualize victory before stepping onto the field. Studies have shown that mental rehearsal activates the same brain regions as physical practice. Olympic champions don't just train their bodies, they train their minds to expect success. The same principle applies to money, relationships, and personal growth. If you constantly think, "I'm unlucky, I never catch a break," your actions will subconsciously reinforce that belief. Flip the script, and your world shifts accordingly. Consider Jim Carrey, who, before fame, wrote himself a check for $10 million for acting services rendered. He carried it in his wallet and visualized receiving that money. Years later, he landed a movie role paying that exact amount. Coincidence? Not to those who understand the power of thought. The question is, what thoughts are shaping your reality right now? Beliefs shape experience. What you believe to be possible determines what you experience in life. The wealthiest and most successful individuals don't just believe in achieving great things, they believe in achieving the impossible. While most people operate within the limits society has imposed on them, the elite reject those constraints. They understand that belief is the foundation of every major breakthrough. The moment you decide something is beyond your reach, it becomes your reality. Think about the 4-minute mile. For decades, experts insisted it was humanly impossible to run a mile in under 4 minutes. Then Roger Bannister shattered that belief in 1954. Once he proved it could be done, others quickly followed. The limitation was never physical, it was mental. This same principle applies to business, innovation, and personal growth. The boundaries you accept are the ones you live within. Change your belief system, and you change your reality. Look at entrepreneurs like Richard Branson. He had no experience in the airline industry when he launched Virgin Atlantic, yet he believed he could compete with established giants. Most people would have talked themselves out of it, but he operated from the mindset that obstacles are just problems waiting for solutions. What if you stopped waiting for permission and started believing in possibilities beyond what you've been taught? Identity defines boundaries. Who you believe you are dictates the limits of your reality. Most people let their identity be shaped by past experiences, societal expectations, or other people's opinions. The elite do the opposite. They craft their identity to match the life they want to live. If you see yourself as someone who struggles, you will unconsciously make choices that reinforce that struggle. But if you redefine yourself as someone who thrives, your actions will follow suit. Consider the difference between someone who tries to get in shape and someone who sees themselves as an athlete. The first person might work out occasionally, but the second makes fitness a non-negotiable part of their identity. This shift applies to wealth, success, and relationships. Instead of saying, "I'm trying to make more money," adopt the identity of a financially savvy person who attracts wealth. Your mind will work overtime to align your reality with that belief. Take Arnold Schwarzenegger. Before he became a bodybuilding champion, Hollywood star, or governor, he saw himself as a winner. He didn't wait for outside validation. He built his identity from within. Every action he took reinforced that vision. When you stop waiting for proof and start shaping your identity with intention, reality bends in your favor. But what happens when you stop seeing time as a rigid constraint? Time is flexible. Most people see time as a rigid, linear path, one step at a time, moving at the same pace for everyone. But the elite understand that time bends to those who know how to use it. Success isn't about waiting for the right moment. It's about collapsing time by aligning your energy, focus, and actions. What takes the average person a decade can be achieved in a year with the right mindset. Time expands or contracts based on how clear and committed you are to your vision. Think about entrepreneurs who build empires in a few years while others struggle for decades. The difference isn't luck, it's how they leverage time. They eliminate distractions, operate with urgency, and act as if their goals are inevitable. Instead of thinking, "It'll take me years to achieve this," they ask, "How can I make this happen faster?" That shift changes everything. When you approach time as a tool rather than a limitation, opportunities unfold at a different speed. Look at Steve Jobs. He didn't wait for perfect conditions to build Apple. He moved with relentless speed and conviction. The future he envisioned already existed in his mind. He simply pulled it into the present through action. This is how the top 1% operate. They don't just dream, they embody their success in the now. Because reality doesn't respond to wishful thinking, it responds to who you choose to be today. Embodiment over wishful thinking. Visualization alone won't change your life. Action does. Too many people sit around imagining success, thinking that's enough. The elite don't just visualize, they embody the version of themselves that has already achieved their goals. Instead of hoping for success, they act as if it's a done deal. This isn't about faking it. It's about aligning your behaviors, decisions, and energy with the outcome you want. When you show up as that person today, reality has no choice but to reflect it. Imagine two people who want to build wealth. One spends hours daydreaming about being rich, but continues making the same financial mistakes. The other studies wealth-building strategies, invests wisely, and carries themselves like a financially successful person. Guess who gets there first? The world doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you prove you're ready for. Success isn't an event. It's a habit. If you want to be a leader, start leading now. If you want to be fit, train like an athlete today. Look at Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He didn't wait until Hollywood recognized him. He trained, worked, and positioned himself like a blockbuster star long before the roles came. That energy created opportunities. When your actions match your desires, the universe responds accordingly. But it doesn't just respond to effort, it mirrors the level of internal alignment you've achieved. The universe responds to alignment. The universe doesn't give you what you wish for, it gives you what you are. Most people think success is about chasing goals, but the elite know it's about internal alignment. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions are fully in sync, reality bends in your favor. You don't need to force things or desperately seek validation. The right opportunities, people, and resources naturally gravitate toward those who embody their desires from the inside out. Think about relationships. Someone who radiates confidence and self-worth effortlessly attracts high-quality connections, while someone desperate for approval repels them. The same principle applies to money, success, and influence. If you believe deep down that you're unworthy, no amount of external effort will override that. But once you align with abundance, mentally, emotionally, and behaviorally, your circumstances start shifting. The world reflects what you truly believe, not what you pretend to believe. Jay-Z didn't beg for recognition. He built himself into an artist and businessman so aligned with success that it became inevitable. He wasn't chasing opportunities. He was embodying the kind of person opportunities chase. When you stop fighting against life and start aligning with what you truly want, everything moves differently. And the next step, learning to trust that process instead of forcing it. Surrender and flow. Most people try to control everything, forcing outcomes, obsessing over details, and resisting anything that doesn't go their way. But the most successful individuals understand a counterintuitive truth. The more you force, the more resistance you create. Instead of struggling against the current, they move with it. Surrender isn't about giving up. It's about trusting that the right things will unfold when you're in alignment. When you let go of fear and desperation, life opens up in unexpected ways. Look at how deals, relationships, and opportunities seem to magically fall into place for some people. It's not magic, it's flow. Athletes call it being in the zone. Entrepreneurs call it momentum. It happens when you stop grasping and start allowing. Ever notice how when you're desperate for something, it slips through your fingers, but when you're detached and confident, it comes naturally? That's because energy doesn't lie. The universe responds to certainty, not stress. Think of Jeff Bezos when he launched Amazon. He wasn't paralyzed by fear of failure. He trusted the process, took calculated risks, and let momentum build. He adjusted when needed but didn't force things. The elite don't panic when things don't go as planned. They adapt, stay open, and let the next step reveal itself. When you stop forcing and start flowing, reality moves in ways you never expected. And now, let's take everything we've uncovered and put it all together. Now that you know the truth, the real question is, what will you do with it? Will you keep operating within the limits of old beliefs? Or will you start bending reality to your will? The top 1% don't wait for proof, permission, or perfect conditions. They decide who they are, align their actions, and watch the world shift accordingly. You have the same power. The only difference between those who stay stuck and those who rise is the choice to apply this knowledge. Think about it. How many times have you held yourself back because of outdated beliefs? What if, starting today, you embodied the version of yourself who already had what you wanted? Would you speak differently? Make bolder decisions? Take actions most people are too afraid to take? Your future self is already out there, waiting for you to step up. The moment you do, time collapses, and the life you once dreamed of becomes your new normal. If this resonated with you, don't just sit on it, act. Start rewiring your thoughts, shifting your identity, and stepping into alignment. And if you want to keep learning how to master this hidden knowledge, subscribe and turn on notifications. This is just the beginning. The next move is yours.